I'd say that myotonic dystrophy type 1 is a multi-system genetic disease, and because it's a multi-system disease, it can affect virtually any organ in the body, and therefore it's vital that active management and monitoring of each of those organs occurs to maintain the health and well-being of patients. And we're developing clinics to be able to do that, to monitor the heart and the lungs and the muscles, to be able to support patients. I'd also say that there are treatments being developed, and to coordinate that, signing up to the National Registry in the UK will support that and will allow the patients and their families to be more actively involved in any clinical trials, but also natural history studies, which will further help our cause towards treating and curing myotonic dystrophy.
What made you decide to take up research in the field of muscle wasting conditions?
So my initial research in medicine was in a disease called Huntington's disease, which is a part of a group of genetic diseases called triplet repeat diseases. And Huntington's disease has always had a good funding base internationally with a good set of clinicians and scientists. There was clearly a need for this to also be developed in a clinical sense in myotonic dystrophy, which is also a triplet repeat disease as well. So I took my expertise from Huntington's disease and applied it to the myotonic dystrophy community, and it's proved a great challenge and a great reward.
And as a clinician, could you please say a few words about the importance of the resources that Muscular Dystrophy UK has developed to support healthcare professionals, like our alert cards, our GP training module?
So I think it's been clear that there's been several centres in the UK which have developed clinical expertise in dealing with neuromuscular conditions, but it's often been difficult in primary care with general practitioners to have access to those same resources and experiences. I think the MD UK's development of an e-learning GP module has allowed GPs, in conjunction with the Royal College of General Practitioners, to be able to develop their skills with a 1-hour learning module. And this has already occurred to 300 GPs have taken up this offer and have been through the process and found it very rewarding. The alert cards are an important development for patients with myotonic dystrophy, because this allows patients, when they go into their local hospital, to provide instant information to clinicians who are often not used to treating these diseases. And these cards provide information of which organs and problems to look out for, but also points of access if there's ever a problem, so the local doctors can access expert clinicians who will be able to inform them of what's going on. They've been fantastic developments in the treatment of myotonic dystrophy and the care of patients.
So I think that it's a very exciting and interesting time in research for myotonic dystrophy in particular, but other neuromuscular conditions, and in particular a type of therapy and approach using oligonucleotides is something that seems to hold very great potential. And it's a kind of therapy which is being applied to myotonic dystrophy, to Duchenne muscular dystrophy, SMA, and other conditions, similar conditions. And so I think that's probably the single most exciting thing that's happening at the moment. Well, it's made a great contribution to my own research. It's primed projects which have then allowed us to apply for additional funding to understand the molecular basis of the condition. Even in my early career, I benefited from funding to my former boss, Peter Harper, from the muscular dystrophy campaign, as it was called at the time. In my lab, I have a clinical research fellow, Dr. Sam Sedahizadeh, who is funded by MD UK. And that's sort of applying or starting to develop a clinical cohort that we can then understand better the condition and then use in future clinical studies. So MD UK is made and is continuing to make an important contribution to our research.